Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If everyone would please have a seat. Welcome. If there are any available seats next to you, could you please raise your hand? We want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to sit down. We have a seat over here, a seat over here. If anyone else needs a seat, we have a seat back there. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is a beautiful morning in Miami-Dade County. I am Jason Smith, your Director of Equity and Inclusion in the Division of Innovation and Performance. Thank you. The Division of Innovation and Performance in the Office of County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava. Good morning. Today is a very special day and a very special month. Today, we are here to officially launch our Thrive 305 Action Plan, the largest, most representative public engagement campaign in Miami-Dade County government history. I think that deserves a round of applause. And this month, we also celebrate 1 year since our mayor and her administration officially took office. The Thrive 305 campaign has been a year-long effort. It's been a year-long in the making, and it represents our administration's wholehearted commitment to including the priorities and voices of our community in the way our county government is run. Before we get started, I'm going to go through our speaking program today. We will hear from Rebecca Fishman-Lipsey, the president and CEO of the Miami Foundation. Then we'll hear from our esteemed mayor, Daniela Levine Cava. And following the mayor, we will hear from Jerry Maldonado, director of the Cities and States program with the Ford Foundation. He will be joining us by Zoom. And following him, we will hear from Raul Moaz, the Miami director of the Knight Foundation, and Carrie Ann Royce from the YWCA of South Florida. Following Carrie Ann, we will hear from Cassandra Arnold, our director of Constituent Services and spokesperson for Haitian Affairs. So at this time, I'd like to get us started. Allow me to introduce to you and to present to others Rebecca Fishman-Lipsey, President and CEO of the Miami Foundation.
You all know how to pack a room. I'm very impressed to see in a morning standing room only to discuss the launch of a strategic plan in Miami is a pretty big deal. I am so excited about the launch of the Thrive 305 Action Plan. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. I'll be very brief because in truth, the real stars of the show are those that are tuning in to watch this from their homes. 26,000 people who helped co-create this plan. This is a really big deal. This is a first for our community. There are strategic plans that are created for communities all the time, but usually they're done behind the scenes and behind closed doors. This is the first time in Miami-Dade County history that we have co-created a strategic plan, a vision for the community that is crafted by the community, with the community. And I just want to applaud 60 civic partners, nonprofit leaders, community leaders who helped to get the word out, to make sure that every part of Miami-Dade County was represented here, to thank my collaborators, the other foundations that helped to fuel this effort, and in truth, our mayor and her team who, over the course of this past year, prioritized community voice and produced this first ever collaborative strategic plan for our community. It is incredible. I admire the way that you are leading. It's amazing to see the year that you have had, the way you all have led our community through crisis after crisis with strength, with a focus on equity. with a focus on community voice. And so it is my honor as a part of the Miami Foundation to welcome everybody, to thank you for being a part of the creation of this, and to introduce a woman who I admire so much and respect so much for the way that you lead, for the person that you are, our Miami-Dade County Mayor, Mayor Levine Cava.
Good morning, Miami-Dade! I am so very, very thrilled to be with all of you here this morning for the official unveiling of our new Thrive 305 action plan. It is a roadmap for the future of Miami-Dade that we charted for and with the community. Thank you so very much for your beautiful introduction, Rebecca. Estoy muy emocionada de estar acá para el lanzamiento oficial de Plan de Acción de Thrive 305, un mapa para el futuro de Miami-Dade que dibujamos con y para nuestra comunidad. So today's launch of our Thrive 305 action plan is the result of a deep, deep partnership with so many people and organizations who made this work possible. I am incredibly grateful for our many partners in the community who've been with us on this journey, and I'm going to do my best to thank all of you right now. So, of course, we must begin with our partners at the Miami Foundation. Where did you? Rebecca. The incredible President and CEO, Rebecca Fishman-Lipsey, and her all-star team, who were with us every step of the way. I could not imagine a better partner to bring this work to life in our community, and we're proud, so proud to be on this journey of civic transformation with you. Este lanzamiento es resultado de profundas alianzas con muchas personas y organizaciones que hicieron este trabajo posible. Thank you again. All right. And we owe a very, very special thank you to each of the funders who believed in and invested in this important and groundbreaking work. The John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Ford Foundation, Allegheny Franciscan Ministries, the Health Foundation of South Florida, the Jose Milton Foundation, and the Shepherd Broad Foundation. Thank you for believing in us and for believing in the promise and potential of Miami-Dade County. Let's give them a round. And I want to thank all of the civic partners, the community data partners, the site managers, Miami-Dade County employee ambassadors, and staff who participated, and of course, every single resident who took the survey and everyone who participated in the action planning workshops and our Civic Week. Thank you for making your voices heard and for being part of this historic initiative that is all about putting people at the very center of government. Thank you for all the elected leaders who are our partners in civic change, including El Portal Mayor Omar Nickerson, who is here today. Truly a great partner with us every step. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you to our partners at HR&A for your hard work and contributions to Thrive. And thanks to the great community artist Xavier Cortada and his team for creating the collaborative art piece, How We Thrive, which you saw in the lobby. It captures and shares our collective vision for the future. And I'm proud to share that the Thrive 305 art piece will be shared across our great library system over the next several months. And of course, we couldn't have done this transformative work without the support of my chiefs, and all of our department directors who are working so hard to operationalize the Thrive 305 priorities and actions laid out in the plan. Let's give them a big round. Thank you. Many of whom are with us today. So last but certainly not least, thank you to my extraordinary team in the Division of Innovation and Performance, and my Senior Advisor for Innovation and Performance, Rahel, please stand. Rahel Welder-Jesus. For shepherding this process forward from the very beginning and pouring your heart and your soul into building a more accountable and responsive county government. And thank you to the County Communications and County Experience team for bringing all of this work to life online at thrive305.org. It is live starting this morning. So today's gathering is a culmination, as you've heard, of nearly 1 year of hard work. We made the commitment to launch Thrive 305 Civic Engagement Campaign shortly after I took office last year, 1 year ago. And we wanted to make sure that the voices of our residents are driving my administration's priorities. I'm so proud to be here with all of you as we approach the 1 year anniversary of my administration to share the final product. Cuando fui elegida como alcaldesa hace un año, me comprometí a lanzar esta campaña para que la voz de nuestros residentes defina las prioridades de mi administración. Y estoy muy orgulloso de compartir el producto final cerca del primer aniversario de mi administración. This process began in February with a county-wide resident survey to learn more about what mattered most to the people of Miami-Dade County. In addition to pushing the survey out digitally, we also built a canvassing, person-to-person operation that reached an additional 3,600 residents in neighborhoods including Alapata, Homestead, Little Haiti, Liberty City, Little Havana, Olympia Heights, and Opalaca, and El Portal. We went to great lengths to make sure the survey responses would be representative of our entire community in its rich diversity and complexity. And at every milestone, we had remarkable turnout, the most inclusive engagement process in county government history, as you've heard. After 3 weeks and over 26,400 responses, we had collected 1.2 million unique data points to inform our priorities as a county. It's truly unprecedented. Thank you. And after we unveiled the first set of findings in April, we hosted a Civic Week. And this was a series of weeknight community conversations where we engaged in deeper dialogue about the key topics that had emerged to help us turn the survey results into an action plan with actual policies and priorities. And we held these conversations virtually and safely in person with many of you in the community who co-hosted in the middle of the pandemic. Today, I am so proud to be able to share the output of all of this truly unprecedented community collaboration. For weeks, we have carefully sifted through all this data. We've distilled resident input into 12 tangible priorities that we are putting into action across county government. In the action plan and on thrive305.org, you can now read all about these 12 priorities. This is our community's blueprint for a stronger Miami-Dade. En el plan de acción pueden leer más sobre las 12 prioridades que son nuestra guía para construir un Miami-Dade condado más fuerte. So each of these priorities will help us drive toward our shared vision for a more thriving county, tackling long-standing structural issues to build a more thriving economy, protect our environment, directly engage with our community, and equitably invest across neighborhoods. The 12 priorities also correspond to the 4 E's, my 4 key focus areas for my administration: engagement, equity, economy, and environment. This morning, I'm going to highlight a specific action we are undertaking in each of these core focus areas, as this work is already underway across county government. The Thrive 305 action plan is so much more than words in a report that will sit on a shelf. It is a living, breathing strategy that is hardwired into so many aspects of our county priorities and programming going forward. Thrive 305 has been integrated in our process of crafting our budget for this new fiscal year. And in fact, of the 40 concrete actions that we developed from your input, 27 are already underway. Yep. And my team has been working closely, hand in hand, with our department directors. If our department directors could please just stand for a moment to be recognized. Please, all our department. And chiefs. Chiefs. Hey, Morris, Ed. All right. Okay. We've been working hand in hand with all of these great people and their teams to infuse these Thrive priorities into our operations and programming. Hundreds, literally hundreds of county employees from across these departments participated in the process as ambassadors, the same people who are charged with implementing these actions in the months ahead. So they were part of the process, and they are part of its success. Let's jump in and see how your voice is already making a difference in how Miami-Dade County operates. First, engagement. These 4 Thrive 305 priorities are all working to break down the barriers between Miami-Dade residents and the services offered by our government. Just to make the point. Accessible county government, engaged and empowered residents, strengthened partnership and community, government that cares and responds. Those are the 4 action steps. And to get a better sense of what we're doing with this in practice, we're going to zoom in on priority number 1, accessible county government. During Civic Week, you shared that technological, cultural, and language barriers have prevented too many residents from engaging with and accessing resources from the county. In fact, 45% of survey respondents said they disagree or strongly disagree when asked if they understand what services the county even provides. 54% said they were satisfied or very satisfied with their experience in dealing with the county. So it's clear that we need to make it easier for residents to access the services that they pay for. We're taking the following action steps to make county government more accessible to all of our residents. We launched our No Wrong Door initiative, which ensures that each person's first point of contact with county government leads to seamless delivery of government services. No more getting shuffled from department to department when you call the county for help. We're expanding one-stop service hubs, where we'll take existing county facilities like our parks and libraries and use those spaces to deliver broader health and human services goals like COVID vaccination, testing, emergency rental assistance, and so much more. We're opening a kiosk, I just learned this morning, for low-income and homeless residents to access services in the lobby of the Stephen P. Clark Government Center. And lastly, we'll be bringing No Wrong Door street teams or goodwill ambassadors of government representatives to people's doorsteps on a regular basis to deliver the services to our residents where they live. We're placing a high priority on convenience and transparency for our residents and on better connecting with those who are in the greatest need of our services. Next up, E for equity. When we talk about equity, we're talking about making the kinds of investments that give everybody an opportunity to get ahead and succeed. When you can't afford to stay in your community because of the cost of housing, that's an equity issue. If you look around and see there are not many trees or natural shade in your neighborhood, or if you have a hard time getting to work because there are too few public transportation options, those are equity issues too. So each of these 4 priorities hone in on those challenges and take action to build a more equitable Miami-Dade where we invest evenly in infrastructure and critical services. Housing people can afford, public safety that includes prevention, early intervention, reentry, and enforcement, transportation options that work for all. So I want to take a moment to thank our Miami-Dade Police Department and all of our first responders for the great work they've done the last year to make Miami-Dade a safer community. Go ahead, stand up, just stand up. And our first responders, please stand up. Tracy, come on. We're so very proud of the incredible success of our Operation, was Summer Heat, now Operation Community Shield, to prevent gun violence, another priority funded in this year's budget. Let's take a look at what we're doing on housing affordability. Greater Miami consistently ranks as one of the least affordable metropolitan areas in the nation and as one of the most rent burdened. You all know that. Our survey respondents regularly cite housing as one of the primary issues for their government to address. To turn the tide on this issue, we invested $260 million in our new budget in affordable housing and homeownership programs. In the spring, we'll host a housing summit with private, public, and nonprofit partners to discuss new housing solutions. And we'll also announce our ambitious new housing targets to have at least 14,000 additional affordable rental and homeownership units in financial closing by the end of 2022. Yeah. And as the county builds more affordable units faster than before, we will track our progress for meeting this goal with quarterly progress updates, including population and income levels served. We'll also expand the Miami-Dade County Housing Affordability Tracker, which displays housing development projects by population served. In addition to what Miami-Dade County is doing in-house, we're partnering with localities, civic institutions, and residents to create a framework for developing housing on underused public and institutional-owned land. So taken all together, these actions comprise some of the boldest and most robust housing investments in Miami-Dade County history. All right. So, over the course of nearly 2 years, our economy, another E, has experienced unprecedented hardship resulting from COVID-19 and its aftermath. The impacts of this pandemic have hit businesses big and small across our entire community, leaving a trail of disruption. These circumstances present great challenges as we work to rebuild our economy, but they also present us with great opportunities. If we want to get our recovery right, we need to focus on all areas of our economy, especially when it comes to supporting our small businesses and setting our young professionals up for success. All of these Thrive priorities are geared toward building a more diverse, prosperous, and thriving local economy by ensuring small businesses thrive in the post-pandemic economy, deepening our partnerships with businesses and major civic institutions, and creating more opportunities for our youth. These priorities will do more than get our economy on track. They'll help take it to places it's never been. Let's take a deep look at how we are using this opportunity to make Miami-Dade County a better place for our small businesses. Economic development in Miami-Dade cannot be done without investing in small businesses. Residents elevated this priority through the countywide survey, showing overwhelming support for our small business network. And in fact, when we asked what your county government could do to help small businesses, your top response was support small and minority-owned businesses through loans and business accelerator programs. This answer was the top choice across nearly all age, income, racial, and ethnic groups. At the same time, small businesses and partners have shown early enthusiasm for our new program, Strive 305. Through Strive 305, the county is tackling some of the challenges facing entrepreneurs by increasing equitable local small business contracting and procurement at the county, supporting startup and scale-up businesses through training and coaching, and helping small businesses get access to capital. So fittingly, we're rounding out the 4 E's with environment. I just last night returned back to Miami-Dade from Scotland, where I attended the COP26 UN Climate Summit. I was extremely proud to join leaders from around the world to share the steps that Miami-Dade County is taking to meet this moment and to be an innovator and pioneer in the fight against climate change. For communities across the world, and especially a place like Miami-Dade that is anchored by our beautiful water, our unique ecosystem, a strong economy, and a healthy environment are not mutually exclusive. They are one and the same. Our environment is our economy. So our Thrive 305 action plan prioritizes a healthier, stronger, more sustainable environment and community by making investments in blue-green jobs that benefit our water and environment, and building more resilient communities designed by and for our residents. We're responding directly to your feedback by prioritizing actions that help us adapt to our environmental challenges while creating economic opportunity for our residents. Thank you. Across the county, Miami-Dade County residents are extremely concerned about climate impacts. Regardless of income, 70 to 80% of our residents reported being concerned or extremely concerned about climate impacts. 76% of our residents are moderately or very concerned about keeping their homes and families safe from natural disasters or hazards. To keep all our communities safe, we need to take early steps now to prepare our county for long-term resilience. So how are we doing this? Our first action under this priority is to expand our adaptation action areas. This is a special designation in our master plan that was given to one or more climate vulnerable areas in the county. This designation prioritizes funding for infrastructure needs and adaptation planning in these areas. And by expanding them, we can consider policies to improve resilience to coastal flooding resulting from high tide events, storm surge, flash floods, stormwater runoff, and related impacts of sea level rise. Our second action is to take those new adaptation action areas, identify potential neighborhood improvements, and then hire Miami-Dade County residents to work on them. This work is already underway in Little River, and we're already seeing opportunities for job creation and resiliency improvements. And our third action is to launch a countywide initiative to educate and engage residents to preserve our environment. This action aims to positively inform and engage residents to take action against illegal county initiatives such as Keep Miami-Dade County Beautiful, Adopt a Road, Sponsor a Road, and in our new Office of Neighborhood Safety, we'll have mini grants for neighborhood-based revitalization plans submitted by residents. We'll empower neighborhoods to take action on this issue, fund outreach to neighborhoods and local cleaning efforts, and support place-based initiatives so residents can take ownership of specific projects. Addressing these structural challenges and implementing these actions will take time, effort, and collaboration with policymakers and advocates at all levels. This action plan is a roadmap for addressing the people's priorities, and many of these actions will take more than 3 years to implement. Many of these priorities are aligned with issues that the Board of County Commissioners and our cities are already working to drive forward, and we look forward to continuing to work together with policymakers at all levels to build a Miami-Dade where all of our families can thrive. All right. So Thrive 305 and the action plan are the beginning, not the end, of a vital and long-term process. This effort marks the beginning of a new partnership between government and the people that will bring about transformative change for years to come. Thrive 305 y el Plan de Acción no son el final, son el inicio de una nueva alianza entre el gobierno y la gente que transformará el futuro por muchos años. As we get to work implementing this plan, our commitment to you remains the same as it was when we launched Thrive 305, to always listen and to lead with resident voices at the forefront, and to work every single day to move your agenda forward. Mientras trabajamos para implementar este plan de acción, seguimos comprometidos a escuchar y seguir las voces de nuestros residentes y a trabajar todos los días para responder a sus prioridades. We encourage you to head to thrive305.org and for much more detailed context and information about the information we've covered today and the work ahead, please check out thrive305.org. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At this time, we will have a presentation and some words of welcome from Jerry Maldonado, Director of the Cities and States Program with the Ford Foundation. Jerry will be joining us by Zoom. Jerry, can you hear us?
I can indeed. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, take it away. Welcome.
Thank you. Gracias. Buenos dias and greetings everyone from New York. On behalf of my entire team at the Ford Foundation, I just wanted to share how incredibly proud we are to be with you all here today and to have partnered with all of our incredible funding collaborative partners to make Thrive 305 possible. As Rebecca and Mayor Cava pointed out in their remarks, Thrive 305 really represented a historic, data-driven community engagement process and a really fresh approach to governance that centers the voices, needs, dreams of the county's diverse residents. And as a national foundation that's really deeply committed and cares deeply about protecting and expanding democratic participation, this groundbreaking initiative really represents a national model of what is possible when the public center authentically engages and believes in the power of community stakeholders to act as agents of change and as co-creators in a strategic vision and a blueprint for a more equitable and inclusive Miami-Dade County. The process in and of itself was an innovative exercise in transparency, mutual accountability, and good governance. It created a structured set of opportunities for county employees and agency leaders to develop a deeper set of relationships with the communities that they serve, while really enabling community stakeholders to better understand how county government actually works and how it can be strengthened to more effectively address some of the great challenges of our day. And to me, what's most exciting is not only the way in which the 305 process helped create this vision for a more inclusive and equitable region, but also the way in which it sets forth a detailed action plan and a set of strategies for hardwiring these changes into the way the county actually works. And as we heard from Mayor Cava, the action plan elevates 12 priorities and converts them into actionable activities for the administrations. And as the mayor highlighted, these are not shy goals, right? They include the production of at least 14,000 new affordable housing units to address the region's growing affordability crisis, the expansion of preventive and social services to keep youth out of the criminal justice system, investment in the creation of blue and green jobs that address climate change and create economic opportunity, and the creation of new mechanisms to facilitate deeper community engagement with county government. And these are just to name a few. But more than just naming a set of ambition goals, the Thrive 305 process really helps create an innovative framework for translating them into reality by, as the mayor said, aligning them with the county's policy, program, and budget priorities, and thereby really creating a pathway for long-term implementation. And the creation of that pathway is absolutely critical because that is the bridge between vision and action on the ground. And that's what I call real long-term structural change. But this is just the first step. The implementation of these ambitious goals is going to take a while, and it's going to require all of us to continue to work together across the public, private, community, and philanthropic sectors to really continue to forge the kind of partnerships that are going to be essential to make these goals a reality. And so I just want to say here from New York that I so applaud you, Mayor Cava, your incredible team, all of our funding and community partners for really taking this important step forward in transforming the way the county works for the people of Miami-Dade County. And we're looking forward to continue to support this kind of innovation that drives change from the ground up through deep community engagement, because that's going to be absolutely essential for making this vision a reality. Thank you, Miami, and onward.
And thank you, Jerry, all the way from New York City. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Raul Moaz, the Miami Director of the Knight Foundation.
Madam Mayor, folks, it is so great to be with you. I share Rebecca's sentiment, standing room only for the launch of a civic engagement and action plan. This is phenomenal. It is so great to be with you. For those of you who do not know of Knight Foundation, we are a philanthropic private foundation headquartered here in Miami, investing in 26 cities across the country where the Knight brothers once published a newspaper. We believe that informed and engaged communities are essential to the health of our democracy, that when a community is informed, engaged, and participation is truly inclusive and representative of that community's true interest can best be expressed and manifested. In Miami, we're probably most known for our funding in the arts and in building up our tech and startup community. But both of those strategies, as well as programmatic funding areas, are not siloed, they're not standalone, they're not of the moment. They are in service of a more informed and engaged Miami, a Miami where residents can participate, be it in public life, in the economy, in civil service, in elected public service. And so it is truly at our ethos and brings us tremendous joy when we see 26,000 Miamians participating authentically in the development of the future of their own community, of our community. The largest public engagement exercise in county history. We very much are hopeful and believe in the potential of this, not as a one-off, but rather as the new norm, that we will become as accustomed to and addicted to and hungry for inclusive participatory governments in this county in a way that we have been when it comes to the arts, in a way that we have been when it comes to building out our tech community. It is of, by, and for Miamians. And so once again, I really just want to be brief and thank you to the mayor. Congratulations to you and your entire team for this exceptional achievement, and onward, Miami. Thank you. I'm going to hold on to the mic a second longer. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing my dear friend, a force of nature and a force for good in this community, the president and CEO of the YWCA of South Florida, Carrie Ann Royes.
When someone calls you a force of nature, you have to give them a hug. Good morning. At YWCA South Florida, we have pledged to eliminate racism and empower women. It's a big, bold mission. We wake up every day to do this work because we believe the voices and the lives of women and people of color deserves to be powerful, and it deserves to be equally represented. And that's why I'm honored today to participate in the launch of Thrive 305. This action plan is on behalf of our women and girls, as well as just this amazingly diverse community. It is representative of them. We recognized early on, pretty immediately, that this process was very unique in that it engaged the voices of everyone in every corner in County Hall. I was so impressed that even through the COVID-19 pandemic, that the mayor's Thrive 305 team did such an incredible job with getting the survey to every corner, every household, every neighborhood, everyone who was in relationship with the lived experience of those in Miami-Dade County. That was incredibly special and incredibly unique, and it's the cornerstone of equity building. It is the cornerstone when we talk about eliminating racism. The voices of everyone needs to be at the table. The meetings were held in various languages, English, Spanish, Creole. It was just expansive. Madam Mayor, I thank you for showing up for every meeting and being there in person, because that in and of itself demonstrated your dedication to this work. I want to use this as also a call to action for my civic partner colleagues in this community this morning who are here and who are listening to this live stream. I believe that today is another new beginning. It's a beginning of this new normal that Raul just mentioned, which is that our county officials, that we support our mayor, our commissioners, that we work together, and that together we craft with our nonprofit leaders, our partners, our neighbors, our residents, and the voices that often are not heard in crafting what happens in our community and to create a plan for us to thrive. I thank you all for your participation and know that you have the unwavering support of YWCA in this continued work. Thank you so much.
At this time, we will hear brief remarks in Haitian and Creole from Cassandra Arnold, our Director of Constituent Services and our spokesperson for Haitian Affairs. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes.
I won't hold you too long. Bonjour, nom c'est Cassandra Arnold, directeur service résidentiel et directeur des affaires haïtiennes. Nous tellement contents pour nous avec nous tout matin pour nouveau plan action Thrive 305. Un roadmap pendant nous rebâtir Miami-Dade. Processus a été commencé en février. Nous demandons aux résidents dis-nous qui changement vous voulez voir dans Miami-Dade. Qui s'appuie en temps pour eux comme résidents. Nous avons parlé à résidents qui étaient dans le quartier, à la Para, Homestead, TIT, Liberty City, Little Havana et plus encore. Aujourd'hui, nous avons partagé feedback communautaire, opinion et collaboration pour Action Thrive 305. Pour ces semaines qui sont passées, nous avons pris information résidents pour nous joindre 40 articles Action pour Miami-Dade. Chaque action a aidé nous à rebâtir une économie plus à santé. La aidé nous à engager avec la communauté nous. Notre Thrive 305, thrive305.org, nous avons besoin de plus d'informations sur le plan nous rien. Nous promettons pour nous coûter résidents nous. Et puis, nous travaillons chaque jour pour nous créer un plus bon Miami-Dade. Merci.
Thank you very much, Cassandra, and thank you, Madam Mayor, and to all of our speakers for sharing your passion and excitement for Thrive 305 and our plan of action for moving our county forward to build a stronger, thriving Miami-Dade. This concludes our program for the day, and the mayor and all speakers will be available for questions from the media one-on-one right in the back and right here off stage. Before you leave, please remember to pick up your copy of our Thrive 305 action plan and visit Xavier Cortada's artwork that was produced using the real words of our residents throughout this process. Thank you all for coming. Have a great day.